There are two main ways that you can promote phone calls with Facebook ads. The most common way is to have a dedicated call ad, where the only option an ad viewer would have would be to call your business. The second option, which is more flexible, would be a call add-on, similar to a call extension in Google, where the main focus is going to be something else, like going to your website, but the users will have the option to call your business later on. So in this video, we want to show you how to set up both of those options to show you the ins and outs of either of them so you can decide which one would be better for your campaigns. As I stated in the intro, there are two main ways that you can promote calls with meta ads. So first, I'm going to run through how to create a dedicated call ad within Ads Manager. Right now we're in the Campaigns tab. I'm just going to click Create, and here we see Campaign Objectives. When looking to create a call ad, you can select almost any of the campaign objectives. You can choose awareness, even though if you look for a good for, it doesn't say calls. Awareness is an option. Traffic, there we see calls. Engagement, leads, still dedicated calls. App promotion is the one that you're going to want to skip. Yes, calls and app downloads happen on a phone, but it's really hard to promote an app via a phone call. So this one doesn't make sense. And then we have sales, calls coming from there. So just to choose one, I'm going to go back up to traffic and click continue. Dedicated call ads will be available depending on which campaign setup that you want. I'm going to stick with manual. And here we're at the campaign settings. This will be pretty quick. Yes, you'll name it, but then if you toggle any of these switches, it won't impact the setup for a call ad. If you want to use Advantage Plus, fine. If you want to set up an A/B test right away, that's okay too. Choose whatever you want and then click next so we can go to the ad set. And here's where we get into more of the details for calls. Go ahead, name your ad set, but for conversion location, we want to make sure we have calls set up. And when we do that, the performance goal is grayed out. If you really want to have dedicated calls, then we're assuming that the main goal is to try to get as many calls as possible. Otherwise, you probably want to choose a different campaign objective. Now scrolling down a little bit, we see daily budget and a schedule for start date and end date of the campaign. So this is more of the campaign level ad scheduling. It's going to look at the full day. You can't break it down into hours of the day, because if I scroll down a little bit more, notice that this is grayed out. We see the no symbol over my mouse. The reason is if you choose a daily budget, you cannot enable the hourly ad schedule. That is only available if you switch from daily to lifetime budget. Now we see hourly ad scheduling is available. And as I click on it, let's say you're a small business that's only open during certain hours of the day, and there's no one going to be available after hours to answer a phone call. Probably don't want to be driving phone calls after hours, using ad spend on potential customers who aren't going to be customers because they can't reach you. It's also a bad user experience, and you don't want to make people angry. So with the hourly ad scheduling, you can literally click on any of these boxes one by one, or you can do what I'm doing. Click and drag and define the hours when you would want the ad to appear. Notice the additional setting up above. It's going to default to the ad viewer's time zone. But if you're a brick and mortar location and you have set hours, you may want to switch it to your location when either you or your staff are going to be actually available to answer a phone call. So again, this type of ad scheduling, which is appealing in a lot of cases, is only available with lifetime budgets. And your hourly ad scheduling will still fall in the parameters of the entire campaign run. So my ads will still run for 30 days, but within those 30 days, it will only run within these hours of those 30 days. Next, you have your targeting. And I'm not going into all this of the targeting options. We've created videos about Facebook targeting. You can check out our most recent one here. So whether you manually pick it, choose Advantage Plus, do what's best for whatever audience you're trying to get in front of. All right, now I want to talk about placements. By default, it's going to be Advantage Plus, which will be most of the placements on Facebook and Instagram. Got to keep that in mind. This is not just a Facebook thing. I'm going to edit this to show you in terms of placements. It's defaulted to Advantage Plus, but if you do choose manual placements, scrolling down here, we see that for call ads, Audience Network, Threads, and Messenger are turned off. And there we see in the grayed out options where call ads will not appear. So everything we see checked right now would be available if you chose Advantage Plus. We just wouldn't be able to uncheck any of the boxes. With manual, let's say search results, maybe not as call focused, you can uncheck that option and anything with a blue check mark can be unchecked. If you do want to go back in, add in more options, clearly anything that's a white square instead of the grayed out square can be checked again. So now that your ad set settings are how you want them to be, we'll click next. And now we're looking at creating our ad. Since we are running these on both Facebook and Instagram, you need to have both a Facebook page and Instagram account connected to your Ads Manager account. So I switched it to the right page, the right Instagram account. We can look at creating an ad. For call ads, you can choose any of these: single image, video, or carousel. But scrolling down, since I chose calls as the main conversion focus, we're not going to have a URL. We're trying to push people to call. So yes, you need a valid phone number. So yeah, we're getting yelled at a little bit. They know that we're playing with the phone number. I'm going to come back to this section here, but let me just create an ad really quick, just so we can get an example in the preview of what this will look like. I added some basic text. I chose an image that doesn't really make sense. Go to advanced preview. Here we can see all the placements of what the ad could look like. In stories, a very clear call to action to call now. In the main Facebook feed, see our headline, our main text, letting you know what number that they're calling, a very clear call to action. Instagram, a clear call to action. So you see, that is the main focus. We're not sending them to a website. That's not even an option when creating these ads. You're pushing just phone calls. Okay, going back up, I did say I would come back to this. Enable callback requests. If you check this, here's an option to get information to call a user back if you were not available to answer the phone call. So if you have Messenger for Business set up, you can check this option. It's probably not going to work for me because I don't really have it set up in this dummy account. But assuming you have Messenger set up with the same account that you use to create your Facebook page and Instagram account, if you weren't available to answer the call, you could get notified via Messenger and then potentially get information on how to call the user back. But since we're almost done, of course, you'd want to create different ad variants, test out different messaging, different images, and then you would just publish the campaign. Back in the main overview, let's go over the second way that you can have calls be a focus for your meta ads campaigns. And that would be to have calls as an add-on. So we'll need to go and create again. And here, our objective selection is going to be much more narrow. To have calls just be an add-on to a current campaign, your options would be traffic, leads, or sales. The three most action-focused objectives. I'm going to stick with traffic again. Click continue. We're going to run through this a lot quicker. So choose your details here from a campaign setup. Doesn't matter. Once again, from the campaign settings, it doesn't matter which options you choose. I'll click next. And for calls to be an add-on, you would choose website. So your goal is still to drive traffic to the website, get sales on your website, get leads on your website. And when we choose website, we have different performance goals. So choose the goals that you would like. You can still enter an optional cost per result. Fill in all of the information from your budget, your schedule, your audience controls, everything there. The placement options I mentioned before will still apply. Click next. Once again, make sure you have the right Facebook page and Instagram account set. Yes, we see threads here. Michelle just made a video about ads and threads. You can watch that one here. But as of right now, call ads are not going to be a placement for threads. But in order to show on threads, you also have to show on Instagram. So that's why both will be running. Continue to go to the ad setup. In this case, we see an additional option. So you can select any one of these. Here we'll go down. This time, we do need to enter a URL. And then right under here, we see browser add-ons. Here is where you can add the call add-on. We'd have to choose the country code, enter in the phone number again, and we're not going to see this on the preview here. This is because this call add-on will add a phone number once the user has visited your website. Here, if I hover over this information box, you'll get a little preview. There's your ad. Someone clicks on the call to action. It opens up within the Facebook browser, and there you saw there was a call option, that blue CTA button, because your browser appears within the Facebook app. So that's how that one works. In a second option, we see phone call. This is essentially getting rid of the website option and making it just a call ad like we had in the first example. But I wanted to go back up, continue with the preview to understand that with this add-on option, it's still focused on driving traffic, with a second option to call you only if they click on the ad. I'm not going to update the creative and everything. All that stuff is mostly the same, and then you would go and publish it. Okay, one more thing. In Facebook's help articles about call ads, they have this particular note at the bottom of each page. Call ads are going to have some estimation in the metrics, and the numbers we see could be different than the actual number of people who called you. There's a variety of reasons of potentially the pixel not picking things up, privacy reasons, all that fun stuff. So we say the best way to really look at the accuracy is to use a call tracking number. It's a number particularly set up for your business, and it's only used within Facebook ads. You can even get deeper and set up a different number for each campaign. I understand if you do that, there's additional costs into it if you use a third-party tool, but it really is the best way to track it. Then you can compare those numbers with Facebook to see how the campaigns are actually performing. call tracking will be much more beneficial. But those are the two main ways that you can really push calls within the Meta Ads Manager platform. If you have any other questions, please let us know in the comments.
Thanks for watching our video. We really appreciate it. If you liked it, give us a thumbs up below. If you really liked it, maybe think about subscribing to the Paid Media Pros YouTube channel and you'll get alerted every time a new video drops.
If you really liked it, you can help support the channel by checking out some of the t-shirts that we're wearing on our merch shelf, as well as looking at the Super Thanks button.